Well, hello and welcome to today's video. I am going to show you the easiest method ever on how to make a silicone sluice box mat using the new 10-inch molds with the built-in frames around them. Remember before when I had the molds, you had to build your own aluminum frame around them, pick your depth, all that. So these are all done for you. This is my high-low V nugget traps, got a 3/4 inch frame. This is my high flow. It's got a 1-inch frame around it. Gives you a good, nice, thick mat. My high-low V has a 5/8 inch frame around it. But anyway, I don't want to get too long-winded. I want to show you this super easy method. But first off, we got to go over what we need for silicone. So for this method, I am using black Project 1 RTV silicone from siliconedepot.com. I'll have the link in the description. If you use the coupon code Allen when you check out, you'll save 11% on your order. This is the cheapest silicone I've found to use. One of the very few black silicones that actually works. Whatever silicone you're using, you must use 100% silicone, moisture cure type 1. If you want to make them clear and make any color you want instead of black, or can't get this from Silicone Depot if you're out of the country or something, you can use food coloring. Refer back to my other video, how to make silicone sluice box mats with plastic molds, and that'll tell you exactly how to do that. But for this method, we are using the black from Silicone Depot. I think I've pretty much got it perfected. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'll show you the Miller table, the mini Miller table sluice box I've been working on. That's coming along real nicely. So yeah, it's all in one, a Miller table and a sluice box. So now we've went over the silicone. Let's go over what we need to do to make the mat. Make sure I'm still recording here. Okay, so this is 2 quarts of water to a 1/2 cup of regular Dawn dish soap. That's what I use. I know some others will work, but you're going to have to test it out first. Make sure it sets up and dries. We're going to need some cling wrap, and that's really about it. So this high flow one we're going to make right now, you can see I've used it a few times. We need 2.5 tubes for that. This is a 1/2 tube in here already, and we're just going to squirt it directly into the water. Make sure your water is at room temperature, about 70 degrees, as well as the silicone. It seems to work the best that way. I just clip off the top and put it in, and it looks, get that out of the way. You can see, I hope. Just squirt it right into the water mixture there. Make sure you do this outside, well ventilated area, but this is nothing now. Before we were mixing it on a piece of cardboard, and for the clear you'd still have to do that just to get the color that you want. There's 2 tubes, or a 1.5 tubes. Some you may have not seen it, but some have said silicone mats won't last. Well, they're wrong. I did a video last year, tested them at a friend's of mine with over 300 hours of runtime on the mats. Showed absolutely no sign of wear. Oh, okay. We got 2.5 tubes in the water. So all I like to do is, you should probably wear gloves. I'm not too worried about a little Dawn dish soap and silicone, but I suggest you wear gloves. You want to take this, knead it together, Don't worry if it doesn't stick. You can take out the strings, whatever. If it doesn't clop together, you can do that. And just put them in your mold anyway. Press it out, get the excess water off. It comes out fine. But if you follow these directions, it should clump together just fine. And you can see I've got a nice clump of silicone, and it's not sticking to my hands at all. Just make sure it all gets treated and washed around in there. We'll move this to the side real quick. We'll get the mold out here. You don't have to do this, but you can just mist a little bit of water on there. I think it helps release a little bit better. You don't have to do that. Just started doing that. So now we'll take our silicone, our clump of silicone, get the excess water off of it. Put it directly into the mold. Now, some people like to skimp on the silicone, but it's been my experience, you press it out over the sides and you get a much better, much more defined mat. Presses out all the air bubbles. Okay, now we got that in the mold. We're going to take some saran wrap. Just plastic wrap. Doesn't have to be saran wrap, just some food wrap. Put it over the mold like this. Just making sure I'm still recording because I don't want to redo this again. And take a board or anything stiff you can press down on. I like to press it a little bit back and forth just to make sure we're getting all the silicone down in all the little pockets and grooves. Back and forth. Now we can press this, all the excess out over the edge of the mold. Like to go to all four corners. And you know when you're there, when you can see the upper part of the mold showing through. There, I got all the excess out. There we go. And let that sit and dry for a couple hours till it's good and firm. Let me run in the house. I'll get one that's ready to come out and we'll continue on from there. Okay, this is the high-low V mold I did a couple hours ago. It's been sitting. So we can go ahead and pull this out. Probably didn't sit long enough, but there's our silicone mat. So now we've got to get these in our sluice box. I would suggest you let these cure for a couple days. They will shrink. The molds are 10 1/4 inches wide, and you don't 10 1/4 inches wide, so they will shrink down a bit. So you don't want to cut these immediately and put in your sluice. So now if we're going to put these in our sluice, of course you're going to want to trim them to fit your sluice. They should fit up to a 10-inch sluice box. If not, you can seam them together. To get them in your sluice once they've cured, this is the high flow mold, expanded riffle, high-low V, expanded riffle on the top. Anyway, that's how you put them together. Trim them so they'll fit in your sluice. Take a little bit of your water and Dawn dish soap, lift up the edge, pretend that's your sluice box, make it all wet underneath there, press them about 1/8 of an inch apart, take your silicone, fill in the gap, not full but back there, slide them together and wipe off the excess with your finger. And that's all there. Let them dry and they will not come apart. They'll be there forever. In fact, the mat will rip. But I know I did the 5/8 frame around the high-low V, and look how nice thick that mat is to fit tight in your sluice. Before I was using a 1/2 inch frame, and sometimes they would float. Some people had some problems with them. So this makes a nice thick mat, and it'll be stiff and sit in your sluice. What else? So this mat, the high-low V, takes 2 tubes of silicone. The nugget trap will take, high-low V nugget trap will take 1.5 tubes. And the high flow, like we just did, takes 2.5 tubes. That gives you an idea on what you're going to need to make the mats. In the description, I'll put a link to where you can get the molds from my new website. Or not my website, but the website. I shipped all the rest of the molds to the shipper, so I don't have them available. But you can go there and check out what I've got. At this point in time, there is still some 6-inch molds there. If you want those, get them now, because I'm not going to be making them anymore. What else? Oh, I think I covered it all. That's how you make it, and I don't know how it gets any simpler than that. No mixing or, getting out, spreading it on cardboard. So that worked really, really well, that system. Let me know what you think. I said I would show you the Miller table sluice box I've been working on. I'll go in the house and grab that real quick. So if you remember, right, this was prototype number 1. And it worked really, really well. This is what I started with. The sluice box mat, and then the Miller table in the bottom with adjustable levelers and everything. But let's get this out of the way. This is prototype number 2. And you can see the water in the back comes in here. An 1/8 of an inch hose fits right over that. That's the water intake. I put a little cover. I can see if I can take this off real quick. There's the water flow, the deep well in the bottom. I put this cover on to cover it up. Also put a little baffle so the water's got to go under that lip down there. I got the silicone mat in it. It's got the levelers with little locks on there. But anyway, I wanted to give you a peek. I got the mat in here. Yeah, it's all chalkboard painted. But enough of that. This is prototype number 2. I'm still working on a few things, getting it all put together. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope that's got to be the simplest way to make silicone sluice box mats. Super effective. I know a lot of you guys have gotten the molds before and made them, but this is so much simpler. The process would work the same on the 6-inch molds if you're using the black silicone. So anyway, like I said, if you got questions, ask in the comments. I'll try and answer them the best I can. If not, let me know what you think of the new process and the new Miller table sluice here. So it's all chopped down and I think it's looking pretty sharp. I'll have a video on that pretty soon. I just got a few more additions to do and we'll be good. So enough of me babbling. Let me know in the comments what you think. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll be back with some more videos. It's getting closer and closer to spring. We can get out and try some new mats and some new ground and all that good stuff. Okay, thanks for watching. Please like and share, and we'll catch you next time. Bye now.